So in 4th grade, we used to always want to finish our work first because one of two things would happen. If we finished our work early, we were actually able to play this like paper overlay computer, which I normally have a picture of that I put while I'm talking, but I couldn't find any. That doesn't mean, however, that it doesn't exist. It does, and I will find it and prove it to you all one day. So the second thing we were allowed to do was actually use our teacher's computer that she used for grades and all that. It had one game installed on it, and that was Super Solvers. Now the reason I finally learned what this game was called, because it took me forever to remember, was just because I casually read someone's blog, and it had a picture of the main character from this game, which is easily recognizable. He has a red backwards cap that, like so, as well as a blue jacket and bright yellow shorts. So I was pretty excited when I finally found out this game and what it was called. But now the quest was to find out which of these games it was that I played. The first thing I'm going to do is play this game, the first one in the series, and see if this is the one that I've been remembering all this time, because I want to see if it matches with the memories I had formed about this game. So follow me along on Super Solvers and see if I'm still just as smart as a 4th grader. Alright, it's time to start this game, and I'm going to hear that same music that I remember from my childhood. And I know exactly what that music is, too. Alright, I'm going to hum it right now and see if it matches up. It goes a little something like this. Alright, game. Show me that my memory is correct. This is not the music from my memory. I mean, come on game, conform to my memories. Say, that song sounds pretty familiar. Yes, it's The Sorcerer's Apprentice by Paul Dukas. And then when you go into the rooms, you actually hear the song The Hall of the Mountain King by Edvard Grieg. Well, it seems the Master of Mischief, Morty Maxwell, wants to make the entire school disappear by using invisible paint. I'm not sure putting invisible paint actually makes it disappear, it just looks that way, but sure, whatever, that's the plot. He has turned 5 paintbrushes into robots, and they are now his helpers. To avoid being caught, the Master of Mischief is hiding in one of the rooms. You can save the school if you figure out which robot is really the Master of Mischief if you solve it before midnight. Good luck. Press enter to continue. Also, you get points at the end, but only if you win. Now, to make sure I don't look like an idiot to the entire world online, I'm going to actually read the rules so that I don't screw up this game. Okay, so there are these little down arrows that mention the clues, because when I first started playing this game, I just started like pushing up, thinking every little graphic was something that you could interact with. Okay, let's collect our first clue. Luckily, each puzzle stops the time, so you don't have to worry about it becoming midnight too quickly. So you have a timer, and if it reaches midnight, you lose. Also, if you want to play along at home, you better hit pause to figure out the answer yourself, as I'm going to speed read through most of these articles. Alright, let's see if that BA in English finally comes in handy. Well, you picked a bad day to be sick, class. Let's see, Betty's French book, review, screamed, jumping Morty, your ants. I don't know, did the ants shout at Morty? Ants can't shout, can they? Let's see, they can pinch. Alright, let's just guess pinch. Alright, I won! 2 guesses for each question in these rooms, though the first guess is always worth more points. You can actually scroll back up and down through the passages. You don't just start reading, get to the question, and go, oh crap, I forgot to pay attention, what's the answer? You can just keep scrolling back up and down until you find the answer. You have a limited number of film, and only 1 extra chance to get more. Each film at the end of the game is worth points. There's nothing here. I guess every room doesn't actually have a clue that you can solve. Wait a second, I'm taking pictures of the robots with cameras. I'm pretty sure I shot them with a flashlight in the game from my childhood. Well, okay, of course, you don't shoot things with a flashlight, but still, I clearly remember doing something involving light with either a flashlight or maybe you shoot lightning at these little robots, and when you do that, you solve a math problem and then they go away. I mean, clearly something is wrong here, either with the game or possibly my memories. Let's see, scrolling. Maybe I should just read through these so I don't actually screw this up, though I don't really want to spend the time to read each of these articles for like 2 minutes before guessing the answer. Oh, please, tell me what a king would wear. I'm sure I have to read all 4 pages of this to figure it out. Oh yeah, it's a crown, isn't it? Oh, joy. I was right. How many robots are there? It's like trying to explore the grass in a Final Fantasy game. Every little critter just decides to jump at you like you're a living magnet. So let's look at my clues now and see if we can finally win this game for kids. I don't really understand what all these pictures mean. I mean, clearly there's pictures of the robots, and they all have 4 clues in the corner. Wait a minute. Should the clues I've collected be on the robot? Some of the pictures are ant, cheese, and crown, and those are the answers to some of the questions I already read. I think it's all starting to come together. Alright, let's win this! Buffo has cheese and a crown, but so does Lectro. Pogo isn't wearing anything, so I assume he can't be the guy. I can decide to say he isn't the one, so that way I don't have to think about it next time I look at this screen. You are not the master of mischief! Rolo has a crown, but he has an apple instead of a cheese. Finally, we have Turbo, and since he has no crown and no cheese, but an apple instead, it narrows it down to only 2 of the robots that could be the master of mischief. So I'm going to have to go through 1 more of these rooms to figure out just which of them it is. Wait a second, why is there a robot randomly in this room and he's not attacking me, he's just kind of standing there? Maybe this is a hint that I already have the clues I need to win the game. Let's see. Beck had the strangest dreams, she liked the dream too much, she waked up from her deepest dreams, and she's what kind of touch? Wait a minute. I've seen that pinched word before. One of the robots had it in their clues. You can actually select all the words that are bolded, and they'll actually tell you the definition of them. Because when you're playing this game in what is supposed to be 4th grade, at least it was for me, you can actually learn all the definitions if you don't understand them, because most kids won't know some of the more complicated words. randomly attacking me in this room. Come on! Oh, dinosaurs, and I see lizard is one of the answer choices, so I'm pretty sure it's lizard, and I didn't even have to read all 4 pages of this again. So you don't actually have to go into the rooms and solve every single thing like an OCD gamer normally does. Still, I want to visit every room. Every single room. Alright, I got every clue, so we're gonna go accuse one of these robots of being the master of mischief and save the school from disappearing / turning invisible at the same time. Let's see, Buffo has a lizard, which wasn't a clue yet. Anyway, I see that pinch that I remember, and it looks like this is the one. You see, Electro has a boat instead of a lizard. So I then accuse Buffo of being the master of mischief. Am I correct in my deductions? Am I going to screw up in front of the entire internet on a game made for kids? I accuse you of being the master of mischief. You're right, you found me. Sweet, I won! What do I get? Oh, let's see, I get bonus points for film, time, and an extra 1,000 points just for winning the game. And my character does a cool little happy dance. Now I rise in rank, and all I have to do is play this 100 more times to get 500,000 points, and I can get to the rank of champion. Oh yeah! This is clearly not the game from my childhood. I mean, it's the same cap, blue, shorts thing guy, and yet the Master of Mischief was clearly hiding in a room, and you accused him of hiding in the room, not in hiding in one of the robots, and there was like flashlight electricity or something, not a freaking camera, okay? Are my memories really this jumbled? Or am I slowly starting to lose it after over 25 years of playing video games? Midnight Rescue came out in 1989 and was the first in a series of computer games. Midnight Rescue would later be re-released as Super Solver's Reading and Leap Ahead 3rd grade collection packaged with many of its sequels. It even came out on CD-ROM 6 years later. It was released multiple times, bundled with its sequels, and is widely considered the first bundle pack of computer games. Also, Super Solvers is considered the first financially successful edutainment game. Yet, previously people tried to combine education and video games with hilariously failed results and probably bankrupted their companies in the process. But this was the first financially successful one, and that led to 6 more games being made in the series. So, let's take a look at Wikipedia for the second game in the Super Solvers Mysteries series, called Outnumbered. Outnumbered is a side-scrolling educational game whose objective is to stop the Master of Mischief, a common antagonist of the Learning Company's Super Solver series and Treasure series, from taking over a television and radio studio before midnight. To do this, the player must deduce which room the Master of Mischief is in hiding by... Got it, this is definitely the one from my childhood. I'm playing it right now. So you collect clues by going from room to room and solving math challenges. You capture secret codes in the halls by zapping the robot Telly and answering his questions. Holy shit! My memories are starting to convalesce into one package in this video game. I think it's all starting to come together. Alright, as soon as I enter this, the music should start right now. It's the song! It's the song! It's even the math robot. This is the game I try to describe to people, and they go, "What the hell are you talking about?" No longer will I not be able to understand what I'm talking about. I now have proof. No one will ever look or listen to me like I'm crazy. No longer. Okay, I'm going to check the rules again to make sure I don't screw up this game. Everything here is nearly the same, only now you use a zapper to hit Telly and answer math questions, so I guess it wasn't a flashlight at all. So my memory was wrong on that particular point. You just used the electricity to scare the other creatures away because robot that solves math problems is afraid of them. You go into rooms and solve problems just as you did in the first game, only this time you're solving math problems that are usually on graphs or in pie charts or things like that, and collecting the clues this way. The clues this time being a 4-digit code for each room that must match the 4-digit code that you will get from solving 4 math problems from Telly. Also, just like the last game, there's that ridiculously large championship trophy you can attain by getting 500,000 points by playing the game over and over and over again until you prove to everybody just how smart you are on the playground. Okay, this is math and reading comprehension together. Huh, kudos game. So, 34 minus 12 equals 22? Okay, I'm not as stupid as I think I am. Hey, why is this bad guy materializing out of nowhere? Thanks. I didn't realize I was supposed to get away from the giant electrical thing. You know, something you fear in real life. Quick intervention! Just like the first game, there are 2 songs that you can listen to in here that are just free source music, so they didn't have to pay or create anything new. Yep, that is Mozart's 40th Symphony. And this one is Rachmaninoff's variation on Paganini's 24th Caprice. This is the clue area. This is much simpler to understand than the first game's clue things. Unfortunately, the game didn't record my first encounter with the robot, which gave me my first clue. Oh yeah, instead of a triangle, now my puzzles will be one of the 3 items in the room. What will this next puzzle bring? Let's see, 42 calls plus 74 calls equals 116. Alright, come here, Telly. Show everybody how simple your math problems are. Bam! We got a new clue! "53 clown feet plus 107 crazy feet equals 160 feet total." What is that, 5 live wires now? This is the most dangerous television station I've ever seen. seriously, this is the training stage, and this is a lot of robots coming out already. I can't even imagine how many robots come out on the higher difficulty settings. Yeah, because every time you go to another level past trainee and all that other levels on the giant chart, the math problems get harder and harder through telly. They go from addition and subtraction to multiplication and division, and from there, fractions. Let's see. Ooh, I'm learning to read graphs. Z is on the 5 line, minus 1 equals 4. Alright, now to get the last one from telly. And yes, every time you come to this screen, you have to watch the entire screen load all the symbols and flip through them, which takes about 10 seconds each time you want to look at the clues. So yeah, it's pretty much easier to just wait until you're ready to solve it already. So as you can tell from here, he's hiding in the game room. If you're in there, I'm putting an end to your mischief. Yikes! You found my hideout! You won't be so lucky again! There are a few more games in the Super Solver series. The first was a vastly different game called Challenge of the Ancient Empires. The next was Spellbound, in which you try to win the National Spelling Bee by doing spelling and word puzzles. There's Gizmos and Gadgets, one I actually remember playing at my neighbor's house, where you collect racing car parts in a warehouse by solving physics and rotating gears and levers to get all this stuff figured out to create your race car and make it work. The last was Mission Think, where you solve puzzles in a warehouse similar to the last game I just described, only now you're solving a mix of all of the types of puzzles from previous games while collecting pieces for a strategy game to defeat the professor, though this was the one that got the poorest reviews of all the games in the series, and unfortunately was the last one. There's also a game called Operation Neptune. However, this was a game that was originally created as its own game first, and then was retroactively included into the Super Solvers brand. So it doesn't include the professor or the kid, so I shouldn't even be technically calling it part of the series, but it is because it's labeled as Super Solvers now. And though I went through all 6 games in this series, we're not done because there's a spin-off. The third game in the series was called Treasure Mountain, but it was popular enough and different enough that it actually created a spin-off series. So even though it was the third in the Super Solvers mystery, became its own brand with 4 games called the Super Seeker series. Now, those games have Treasure Mountain, Treasure Math Storm, Treasure Cove, and Treasure Galaxy. That makes it 9 games total in the entire Super Solver Mysteries, though 10 if you count that unrelated sub-game. Well, that's it about Super Solvers. I've gone through all the games, as well as showing you a playthrough of the first 2, and finally recollecting my memories with what I thought about, with what actually is. But one thing about these games is I see them everywhere. They have like different art, and they're now on CD instead of, little hard discs. But they are everywhere at secondhand stores, I've noticed. So if you want to pick one up for your kids and have a 10-year-old computer that can run it, by all means grab it. And hey, if you go to Abandonware, you can actually download every single game in the series except for one. Well, I'm glad that I finally got my fragmented memories consolidated into one so that I now know where they all came from, tracing the source of all those memories. But now, it's time to finally move on to another Murphy's Media Memories episode. And it wasn't until just randomly scrolling on somebody's blog and saw them post a picture on it that I was like, holy shit, I recognize that character. That character that wears the stupid backwards red ball cap that I don't have one. Okay.